having a kid, by the way, is a bit of a scapegoat because if I went to the shopping mall by myself and just ran down the middle, people are like, what a weirdo. But if I had my daughter in my hand and run down the middle, they're like, what a cute dad.
This is times 2, the work, the money.
It's not even times 2. From what my friend said, it's times 10.
Yeah, see, like even my perspective of that is already so naive.
People used to ask me, when did you start doing parkour? And the parkour response is, when did you stop doing parkour? Because every kid, even in Taiwan, they do parkour. But recognizing a 1.5-year-old that you've seen, I've seen like a lot of parenting content, and I couldn't tell you. If I saw any of them, you pay me £1 million, I wouldn't get it right. So that was really concerning for me, and I was like, that's kind of hard, which can make you feel really emotional sometimes. But the second piece of advice is, this might be very controversial, I don't think everyone should be parents, or I don't think everyone should have kids.
Hello everyone, welcome back to FUNDAY Chat. I am Wade, your host, and today we have my friend James. James is actually also mixed, UK and Hong Kong. He's a content creator. He has been in Taiwan for around 10 years. And so within that time, he's learned Mandarin. And he is also a dad of a 3-year-old beautiful girl. And so today, we will introduce this topic. And I think it's very interesting because obviously we're watching this online. And there's many things that all of us have to kind of try to wrestle with and think through and figure out what is the best approach and how do we address these things, especially as technology is growing so rapidly and so fast. So today we've invited James to come and share what would it look like to sort of balance that privacy when it comes to being a dad, having a child, and creating content and having, father-daughter content. And so thank you, James, for coming to FUNDAY Chat, and welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really excited to be here, and I look forward to answering your questions and having a discussion about this. I think it's a really sensitive and interesting topic right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mentioned a lot of stuff and I espoused, a lot of things about you, but can you tell us a little bit in your own words about yourself?
Sure. So my name is James. I'm from the UK. I was born and raised in the UK, moved to Taiwan when I was 25, I believe. Didn't know any Mandarin, came here to learn how to teach. I was an English teacher at a Bushiban for a little while. And I also wanted to learn Mandarin. So I taught for a year, discovered I didn't learn any Mandarin in that year. And then so I stopped teaching and went to Shuda for a language school to learn Mandarin.
Oh, so you actually studied Mandarin?
I studied Mandarin as the subject, I guess.
Yes.
And from there, I did a little bit of studying with the school, a little bit of self-study, language exchange, textbooks, whatever kept my interest at the time.
Yeah.
After 3 to 5 years, I sort of plateaued with learning Mandarin. And I kind of wanted to get my story out there. So another part of me, which you didn't mention actually, is I was born with a hearing disability.
Yes.
So for me to learn Mandarin, for me to even speak English, for starters, is an accomplishment my parents are really proud of.
Right.
They thought I was going to be just someone who could only sign.
Yeah.
But I ended up being able to speak through my parents' perseverance and also support, speech therapy, things like that.
Right.
And I ultimately did something called mainstreaming, which is instead of going to a deaf school where everyone signs, I actually went to a regular school. Yeah.
Wow.
And of course, I had like special attention, make sure I sit at the front of the class, make sure I understood what was going on. I had like my social circles and stuff like that. But for the most part, I was able to, live a fairly regular life. Age 18, I ended up working for a company called Rolls-Royce. In the UK, which is not the car company. They also make airplane engines.
Oh, wow.
Nice. So the aerospace and the motor industries split, I think, in the 70s.
I see.
When they went bankrupt, they sold it to BMW.
Wow, okay.
But now the aerospace industry is still very, very much thriving.
And that's the department that you worked at?
I worked in the aerospace, The city I'm from in the UK that's where Rolls-Royce is from.
Wow, interesting.
So I worked there for 7 years before quitting and coming to Taiwan.
Yeah.
Engineering wasn't really for me. It was something I kind of just fell into.
I see.
And I applied for it because my mum told me, you may as well just apply for it, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she filled out a lot of the form for me. But I'm very glad she did. It paid for my university. It gave me a really solid foundation. And I made money, so and I can tell people I used to work for Rolls-Royce.
Yeah. That's a pretty cool. I didn't even know that about you. So that's a pretty cool insight. The big topic we want to talk about today is being a dad and what that looks like in today's day and age, even with social media. You said you love kids.
I do.
Yeah, and so was that always something that was in part of your sort of like dream to be a dad?
I always knew I was going to be a dad.
Okay.
And I remember even like just watching movies when I was a kid, and I was like, yeah, I like that name. Like, my kid could have that name. And maybe that's not normal thinking back, but I don't know if it's related, but I'm like the oldest in my family. It's like my brothers and my cousins. I'm the oldest one.
Okay.
So I was kind of used to like, just playing with younger kids, and they're only like a few years younger than me. And then as I got older and like family friends started having cousins and stuff like that, I was happy to like, babysit them, or chill out with them, or hang out with them, just play around.
That's cool.
I still see myself as a big kid.
Yeah.
There was a period of time where I was teaching parkour in Taipei, and that's like kids aged 5 to 10. And it was a blast.
Yeah.
We'd jump around. I, of course, have to teach them how to do things safely.
Safely, yes.
But it was great fun.
Yeah.
Teaching kids that want to learn is like one of the best feelings ever.
Yeah.
Teaching kids that don't want to learn is one of the worst things ever. It's complete opposite end of the spectrum. Definitely. But for me, it's like, I'm going to have kids 100%.
Yeah.
One thing that has changed is, and originally we wanted 2 kids.
Okay.
I have a brother.
Yes.
Then after having 1 kid, it's like maybe one's enough.
Really?
It might change in the next couple of years.
That's really interesting because I've, personally, also similar-minded to you. I also want to be a dad, and I've also always envisioned at least 2. But I know, I know how reality hits you once you actually have a kid. That you're realizing this is times 2, the work, the money.
It's not even times 2. From what my friend said, it's times 10.
Yeah. See, like even my perspective of that is already so naive, but I could only imagine.
Yeah. I guess 2 kids is possible.
Yeah.
It's very possible actually, but you're sacrificing a lot more of you. For example, I wouldn't be able to come and do things like this.
Sure.
You would have to give up a lot of yourselves. And with 1 kid, you can still have your own life in some respects. Yes, it's a different life, but you can still, go on to develop your career or your passions and your hobbies. I think with 2 kids, at least for the first few years, there's going to be a lot of sacrifice.
Yeah, for sure. Well, hats off to our parents, because I also have, I have a younger sibling, and just people were built back so differently back then. But so, you're, tell us a little bit about your daughter, I guess, like.
What can I say about my daughter? So Olivia is 3 years old. At the moment, she's like a super daddy's girl.
Yeah.
She needs me for everything. But she goes through stages.
Yeah.
Sometimes she's the mummy's girl.
Okay.
But despite being a daddy's girl, she loves princesses, she loves pink. She's really into K-pop demon hunters right now. But she loves climbing. And this is one of the things that actually started, like, the reason why I started making a lot of content is I believe you should be having fun with your kids. And I believe you shouldn't protect your kids as much as you think you need to. And, from the age of 1 or even 2, she was like climbing on the playgrounds and exploring places where she shouldn't be, where most parents would be like,
terrified.
Be careful, watch out. I'm like, okay, let's do this, but this is how we're going to do it. We're going to do it safely. And I'm going to come up with you if you need me, and really work things out. And that really shows in her personality and the way she explores right now. So many adults see her and like, wow, she's so confident. I'm like, I've trained. I say I trained her that way, but the reality is I let her be that way. It's not I trained her. It's I didn't stop her.
Yeah.
And a funny thing, people say in parkour. Do you know what parkour is?
Yes. Okay, and I guess that's the other thing we should have mentioned, that you're also like a parkour artist. I don't know, what do they call? Just a person who does parkour?
Parkour athlete, I guess.
Athlete, because like, I'm sure if people watch, other shows, especially like, there's that famous, episode on The Office. I don't know if you watched The Office. Yeah, parkour, and then just jumping around. But it's actually very impressive. And I forgot to mention that's also part of your...
there's too many things to mention. I don't do it so much now. But in parkour, for those who don't know, it's all about going through urban environments, going from A to B as fast or as efficient as possible, and people adding flair like flips and tricks and whatnot. It appears dangerous. There's the way that the media portray it is, the highest level, very dangerous stunt
trying
stuff.
Extreme things.
Exactly. And it's the reason that's only shown on the media, because that looks impressive. A guy jumping between two curbs on the floor isn't impressive. And so therefore you don't see it online. But yeah, there's something people used to ask me, when did you start doing parkour? And the parkour response is, when did you stop doing parkour? Because every kid, even in Taiwan, they do parkour.
Jump around.
They see them jumping around, hanging off. I see like 5-year-olds doing like monkey bars and hanging upside down with their feet and like, daddy, look how far I can jump. And like the dad's like, like sitting on the side with his phone. Oh yeah, well done. And then the kids naturally want to do this. This is a natural expression of what they want to do. It's built into us. Maybe it's very from when we were like monkeys and stuff, and we still want to do it. Who knows what it is? But the truth is, we all did it. And a lot of us stopped. It's very sad to me that some people in their 20s or 30s have jumped for the very last time in their lives.
That's true. You don't even realize that.
Which is scary.
You don't even realize that.
And yet our ancestors were like running from saber-tooth tigers or whatever, and we're here like, oh, it's impressive. So for me, movement is super important. What she does with movement, if she wants to be a gymnast or a football player or whatever she does, I don't mind. Like, that's up to her. But it's very important to me that we use our bodies. Right? It's a real shame not to use them.
So like, honestly, even the way you're describing this, I think is the mindset that I also sort of carry within my own life. I've watched, obviously, many of the contents that you've made and things, and I can see that you're there to catch her. It's not like you're just like, okay, go do your thing, and you're just like, on sidelines. Like, you're very hands-on, and I think that's probably the part that's important to this whole, equation, where it's important, like, you want them to explore, but you're also there to catch them if they fall. You're also there to encourage them. You're also there to, if they're stuck and they can't do it, you're there to, be that safety net for her.
100%.
100%.
And that's not to say either that you should physically hold on to them as they're doing it, because that then creates a false sense of security. That they can climb anything and fall at any time. It's important that falling still has risk, but not danger. So for example, if I'm there ready to catch, she's going to experience a little bit of free fall before I catch her. So she knows, okay, that was a little bit dangerous.
Or like that was a mistake.
That was a bit scary. I did something wrong. Whereas if you fully hold them, they can just do whatever. They can just let go and just fall back, and they don't care. So I think that's really important as well, to provide the right amount of support. And this goes along with like overprotecting, which I see a lot of in Asian parents.
And that's something maybe we can quickly touch on too. Like, how do you, being in the Asian culture, how do you go against the culture in a way? Like, I'm sure other kids are going around the playground and parents are watching you, and they might be like, oh, why would you let her do that? Oh, are you being irresponsible? Like, how do you sort of address those things?
I think I kind of built that mindset up already from doing parkour in the UK. So if you're doing parkour in the UK, you're a weirdo. You do parkour anywhere in the world, you're a weirdo, right? Because you're in public spaces, jumping on this architecture that wasn't built for it, and you're a grown-ass man. I started parkour when I was 21, which is like already much older than some of the other people that were doing it. So you build this mindset that that it doesn't really matter what people do. And it did teach me a lot that we do things or we buy things to impress people that we don't even care about. I think that might be a Gary Vee quote. We buy things that we can't afford to impress people we don't care about. And we do the same thing with our actions as well. We put ourselves in discomfort because we're afraid of what other people will think. And so when it comes to parenting, and having a kid, by the way, is a bit of a scapegoat, because if I went to the shopping mall by myself and just ran down the middle, people are like, what a weirdo. But if I have my daughter in my hand and run down the middle, they're like, what a cute dad.
Context.
So you can 100% get away with more stuff when you have a kid.
Yeah. Okay.
And so when I go to the playground, I'm just in that mindset. Like, number one, I'm having fun. I'm doing a little bit of exercise and I'm enjoying myself. I'm not on my phone. And number two, people probably don't judge you as much as you think. There's the mustard stain effect. I don't know if you heard it. You got a small mustard stain on your shirt, and you're so conscious of it, and you're looking at it, and you kind of like cross your arms, and you try and cover it. In reality, maybe 1 of 20 people noticed it, and that one person doesn't really care. So I think people get in their own heads a lot, and that prevents them from doing things they want to do in life, including quitting your job and traveling to the other side of the world. So when I'm with Olivia and I'm being a bit different, I'm climbing up there with her. The way I see it is people understand that's how I treat my daughter. That's how I want to be. And I'm as long as I'm not putting other kids in danger, then I think that's okay. Yes, people will judge, but does it really matter?
Yeah, because I think you know what's important and what you're trying to instill in your child, and so you got to do what you got to do.
100%.
Yeah. So what are some of the expectations that were, different to what you thought before and after having a daughter?
I think one of the biggest shocks to my system was how much time it really takes to have a baby.
Okay.
And maybe I've been influenced by the fact that I've been surrounded by kids or like siblings or whatnot my whole life. So I was like, you just play with them for a bit and then that's it.
Yeah.
When they're hungry, you give them some food.
Feed them,
But actual fact, especially when they're first born,
early stages,
it's a full-time job on top of whatever full-time job you're having, on top of the lack of sleep, on top of whatever issues you're having with your wife or whatever issues she's having because she just literally just pushed the baby out. There's so much going on, and I remember just small things you take for granted have just gone. For example, I remember being in the house and my wife had gone out. I think she'd gone to work, so I was taking care of Olivia for the day, and Olivia had fallen asleep, and I was starving. And in Taiwan, we don't keep food in the house. We go to 7-Eleven or whatever. There's a Family Mart right downstairs. It literally, I can get there in 2 minutes and back. But I couldn't leave the house because Olivia's asleep. And I'm not going to wake her up because it's hard to get her to sleep. And so there's just small things like that. I wanted to go and practice skateboarding, and so I need to wrap Olivia up, put her in the pushchair, take her out, and she's crying now, so I can't really focus. Oh no, I need to change her diaper. Oh man, there's a lot that builds up, and this idea that you've got in your head, or at least I had in my head, is she's gonna nap 3 times a day for an hour each time. That's 3 hours that I could be doing
so much.
I could be doing a lot. In reality, it's she's asleep now. Okay, I can go and tidy some stuff up. I'm just going to sit down for 5 minutes because I'm exhausted. Oh, she's woken up now. Okay, I'll do it on the next hour. She needs to change her underwear. And it builds up. There's a lot of misconceptions I had about time that, unfortunately, it doesn't work out that way. The good thing, I would say, and I always tell new dads this, is it gets easier. They get more independent. They stop wearing diapers. They go to the bathroom by themselves. So it does get easier. But one thing I perhaps did too much at the start that I wish I didn't is I always said to myself, I can't wait until blah, blah, blah. For example, when she was born, I was like, I can't wait until she can crawl. I can't wait until she can hold her neck up. Because once you get to that time, you enjoy it for a second, and then you're like, I can't wait until this next thing and next thing. And there are some voices that come into my head sometimes. She's 3 years old now, and the age where she can start learning stuff, like how to play tennis or skateboarding or whatever, age 4, age 5. So I'm always like, I can't wait until she's that age, and then I can start playing with her. But then you're skipping all that stuff that you should be enjoying in the moment. And there is a lot in the moment that sometimes I feel a bit guilty of. I'm like, I wish I enjoyed that a little bit more at that time when I look back at videos or photos. So I try and make a big effort right now to not say I can't wait and just to enjoy the moments that she's doing right now and just think to myself, that is so cute. I can't believe she does that now and really enjoy that. And I think that's something I'm working on.
Let's get into the the body of this topic, right? Today, we really want to explore this social media side of things, because obviously you do, parenting kind of content online. And so can you tell me, like, was that something that you intentionally planned to do, or was that something sort of like you're like, oh, maybe there was a lack and you wanted to maybe fill that gap?
So for me, content creation is, I do it for fun. I do it for enjoyment. My work is in content creation, but not necessarily the content I create. It's more about the things that I can teach other people or help them do.
Yeah. And sorry, just on that note, the next episode we're going to talk about his content creation site, so stay tuned, but please continue.
Yeah. So I'll save all the information for that one. So for me, making content about Olivia was simply just exploring another niche that I could try to understand more. I'm always trying different styles to see how it works so that I can teach it to other people. And at the time, I wasn't making much content, especially since it was really noisy around the house. So there was never any time just to get my phone and record a video because there would be too much going on.
Sure.
And one thing I like to teach is, figuring out your problems and making content anyway. So I started saying to myself, well, how can I make content anyway? What am I doing right now that doesn't require much more work? And what I was doing was taking videos of my daughter and sending it to my mum.
Yeah.
So there was this really simple clip of Olivia just walking across a bridge. And I was like, this is cool. And I kind of like that she's doing something that a lot of parents wouldn't expect her to be doing at this age.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, what if I could take what I'm saying to other parents, because sometimes I'll go to the park, I'll talk to other mums and dads, or people like yourself who ask me about how it is to be about dad, and just put that advice on top of this video. So I put this video up, and it's her walking across the bridge. It was a little bit high for her age, and I said, we shouldn't have to fear our kids or what they can do. We should instead teach them risk management and show them that risk isn't something to be scared of. Risk is something that we have to manage and be careful of. It was something along those lines. And I put that video up and it blew up. And I was like, okay, so these are really simple videos. I can take the clips I've already have because I'm just filming them for my mum who's in the UK. I can do these voiceovers at night time. And it doesn't matter because it's dark and I look tired. It's just my voice and Olivia's asleep. And then I just edit it together. And which is, I've never done videos like that before. Before it was always talking to the camera. Now it was someone else is the subject and I have a voiceover. And it did well. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm just going to do a few more of these. And the more I did, the more popular it got. And I think I went from like 5,000 followers on Instagram to 30,000 in a month or two. And from what I realized, I think it was, number one, I'm a foreigner. Unfortunately, that's just something that I am.
There's a foreigner glow.
Number two, I was taking somewhat Western concepts and applying it to the East. Now, I wouldn't say it's fully a Western concept because there's still a lot of parents in the West that are still very protective. But it's more common. I think they call it gentle parenting. In the West than it is right here. And I think a lot of people my age or like in their 30s who are just having kids grew up with very authoritative parents. And I think that was our parents' generation is very authoritative. You're my child, you must do what I say. I know what's best for you. I don't need to explain anything to you. So they've been through that and they know they don't want that for their kids. At least a lot of them do. But they don't know any other way. So it's like, okay, I don't want this, but I know I should be softer or maybe I should be their friend, but I don't know how. And I want to spend more time with them. So being offered that insight, I think resonated with a lot of parents. I think especially on Instagram, a lot of Instagram mums and dads are on Instagram. My YouTube just died. YouTube wasn't interested in that content, which is fine because ultimately I'm doing this to learn about the platforms.
That's cool.
And then the third reason is I'm a dad. And again, traditionally, it was like the dad went to work and then hung out with his friends, got drunk, came home, whatever. Maybe that's a stereotype. And it'll be the mum taking care of the kids. And right now, there's a lot more dads getting involved. There's a lot more mums maybe going full-time work and the dads doing different kinds of work. It's opening up. So I think with those three things, I just exploded in the parenting market, despite there being so much like competition. My style is also a bit different. If you watch like some Asian videos, it's always like bam, bam, sound effect, bam, bing, bing, and just very calm. Music,
right?
Olivia, and talking. That was it.
Found the formula.
So that was the reason, really. I just wanted to try it, and it worked out. And I just rode that wave for a little bit.
Okay. Well, so that's one thing that I guess I personally, because I think everything you're saying, you're preaching to the choir. Like I'm also wanting to take notes and, you know, making mental preparation, you know, for when I get to that stage as well. But, you know, previously, prior to the conversation, I showed you this video clip that went viral a while back, maybe a couple of months or a year ago, where it was a German telecom communications ad that sort of really instills a lot of fear into what it looks like to post children, you know, pictures or videos online. And I know majority of us, it's very innocent, especially as parents, you want to share, you want to let other people see. And I think especially with you, creating content to help teach and educate people, you know, with a different mindset, that's amazing. The scary part, or the flip side of this, is that in today's society, there is so much dark web stuff going on too, right? So an innocent content can be turned into something that we want to, you know, avoid as far as possible. And so in this world and this content and in this environment, what do you think is the best approach, or how do you maybe, you know, take that approach to sort of try to make sure you're protecting your daughter's privacy too in many ways? Like, can you give us some insight on that?
Yeah, so this is a really interesting subject, because from the age of 2, I actually stopped making focused content on Olivia. So it's been almost more than a year now, actually. And I never addressed this, actually. So if you know me from my Instagram, you now know why. So just before the age of 2, number one, I was getting a bit of burnout from just making content about her, which normally when I get burnout, I just stop making content. Again, because it's not my job to make content, so I don't push it through. But another thing was Olivia was getting recognized on the street. And I wasn't with her. Her mum was with her. And her mum is never in any of the videos. She doesn't like to be in videos. So people were recognizing Olivia, a 1.5-year-old that looks like most babies, quite generically. A lot of babies look the same. And then coming up to them and saying, oh, it's just the girl from Instagram, it's just the baby from Instagram. And it happened twice in like 3 weeks. Which was quite
some parents are probably like, yeah, recognition. But then, like,
so my wife was like, yeah. And then she told me about it. And I was like, that's quite scary. Like, recognizing me is one thing. And if I was with Olivia, then, okay, yeah, sure, that kind of makes sense. Probably recognize
exactly.
Me. But recognizing a 1.5-year-old that you've seen, like, I've seen like a lot of parenting content, and I couldn't tell you if I saw any of them. You pay me $1 million, I wouldn't get it right. So that was really concerning for me, and I was like, that's kind of hard. A friend of mine as well, who also made dad content, said to me, after my daughter turns 2, I'm going to stop making content about her. And those two things combined kind of flipped a switch for me, and I was like, you know what, maybe it's, you know, I shouldn't be making so much content about her, and it's something I should consider about her future and make sure that she understands what's going on. And perhaps we can make more content in the future once she does. So after age 2, I stopped making Olivia focused content. Now I still do feature her in some of my videos. But she's not as prominent. I'm often in it, and she's just in it for a flash, or just in it for a little bit, or maybe I don't even show her face or something like that. And so actually, there was a third reason as well. So again, because content creation is my job, I didn't want the reason I was successful in content creation is because I had a kid in it. I wanted the reason to be me.
Sure,
So there was a lot of I kind of want to prove myself. That it's not because there's just a cute baby in the shot. So I kind of like redirected it back to me, which I think if you're a content creator, it should be about you.
Sure.
I think relying on other sources for your views is just not a sustainable way of doing things.
It's limiting, because obviously if that factor is not there, then are you still going to have the same effect?
Exactly. When I went to Singapore a year or so ago, there was a YouTuber there called Jordan Mehta, and I managed to catch him backstage. And he's got a very famous daughter called Salish.
Okay.
And a lot of his videos are featured about her. Originally, he started taking photos and then moved on to more like documenting her life.
Yes.
And I said to him, like, do you worry about these things? And he's like, absolutely, 100%. But I think he started filming her when she was a bit older, like 9 or 10. So he was able to ask her and really explain the concept to her. And even now, she's like age 16. He's very upfront. They will like film a whole video and spend all the money. And if at the end of it, she says, I don't want this video to go online, that's it, it's not going online. There's no not ifs or buts or him trying to push her to do it because he spent so much time. He's acknowledged and he fully understands it's her life and it's her choice. Which I think that's a great thing. You know, there's so many child stars like the Disney kids and whatnot that had like terrible lives because they've been forced into things that they didn't really want to do.
Right.
And so as a parent, being able to control all that, I think is a really good situation to be in if you're making that kind of content.
Yeah, and especially because a lot of times, you know, when kids of these sorts, you know, they grow up and they become popular or famous in many ways, other people feel like they have a say in this person's life too. Because if you're putting yourself online, like actors, right? Supposedly, they put themselves out there, so they should be subject to criticism, which I don't think is necessarily fair. But essentially, that's what people think. They're like, oh, I don't like this look, I don't like that look, I like doing this and that. And in many ways, like acting is, you know, and nowadays social media is even a bigger platform of, you know, popularity. And so it's very tricky to find that balance. And so I actually didn't even, it didn't click in my head because I follow you too, but I didn't even realize, like, you know, you did sort of slowly moved away from that, which is a good call, I think, I guess on your part. And I think that's something each parent have to make, you know, that decision.
Make a decision. Yeah. Now, you know, looking back, would I changed it? Probably not, because by making that kind of content, I felt like I was becoming a better dad.
Yeah.
I was really exploring these ideas that I was thinking about anyway.
Yes.
But recognizing to stop before she's 2 years old, I think was a good call.
Yeah.
I think most babies before 2, they kind of look the same. They don't really have any sort of like vivid personality.
Sure, yeah.
So I might be self-justifying here.
Yeah.
But I feel like I haven't really exposed much of her.
Yeah.
After 2, like who she is now is like, she's got such a personality and she's Olivia. You can tell, right? So I'm glad I haven't shown that to the world.
This content aspect is obviously a very interesting topic and love to dive deeper into that. And so I think we can carry on this conversation into our next episode.
Absolutely.
But to close off here, like, what is the best parenting advice you've received or you feel like you would want to share with another parent?
Okay, I'll have 2 pieces of advice. The first one is, and I've already said it, is just enjoy the moment. I think that's really the most important thing. Really take the time to enjoy what your kids can do. Yes, there's going to be a lot of annoying things, but really finding the time to enjoy the things that they enjoy or do the things that they can do at that moment, because it's fleeting. I think I read a statistic that by the time the kid is age 10, you would have spent 80% of your time with that person.
Wow, yeah.
Because after that, you know, they spend more and more time at school, they become an adult. And that age from like age 10 to, you know, the end of your life is just 20%.
Wow.
It's that's so crazy just being present in that time, in those 10 years, is 80%. Which can make you feel really emotional sometimes.
Yeah.
So that's the first piece of advice. The second piece of advice is, this might be very controversial, I don't think everyone should be parents, or I don't think everyone should have kids. And there's a lot of, I wouldn't say bad people, but just misguided people in our world. And I think it's due to them just having parents who just didn't care so much. And there's a great quote that is, you know, you have parents and you have people who just have kids. and be a parent. Okay, don't just be someone that just has kids. And that means, you know, being there. That means like guiding them and being their friend and their mentor. And it's a problem with society in a way, because you get married, right? It's the whole, you get married, you buy a house, you have kids. There's like the three things. That's why we live. That's why we exist. Okay. So we get married, and actually nothing really changes. If you've been with your partner for like a number of years, you get married, you wake up next to your wife the next day, it's the same. Okay? Not much changes. You buy a house. Okay, if you've already been living together, cool, you've got a new place, you can decorate, blah, blah, blah. But it's more or less the same. But then you have a kid, and like everything changes. It's like if buying a house or getting married is just a 10% change, having a kid is a 90% change.
It's crazy.
And a lot of people aren't ready for it. Myself included, and I wanted kids and I wasn't ready. So what about these people that didn't really want kids, or just did it because that's what society expects them to do, especially in Asia, where you've got your mom and dad expecting grandkids, which is absolutely wild. How can they have a say in you dramatically changing your life? So I don't know if people will take this advice, but if you're really unsure about having kids, then maybe the option is, you know, not to have kids, despite what society tells you, despite, you know, what your parents tell you, and despite the declining numbers of the population in Taiwan.
That's the other thing you gotta consider.
You know, maybe you know, Jiufen or somewhere like that being less crowded is a better thing.
You just want more space.
I'd love more space. I think we're vastly overcrowded on Earth. And more, you know, happy kids is probably a better thing, in my opinion. Now, does that solve the population issue? No, but I think there's better solutions than forcing people to have kids they don't want.
Sure. Yeah, no. So I can relate to that, but I do appreciate you know, the insights that you've brought, because I do think having, especially the quote, right? Like just having kids and being a parent, I do believe is very different. And so
different. And I didn't even realize that until I was a parent myself and saw other parents, and they just don't care, or they just complain about their kids. And I'm like, how can you do that? This is such a beautiful, magical human being. And it's a personal thing. That's all it is. It doesn't make you a bad person if you don't want kids. Absolutely not.
Of course. I think in anything, we just have to be very intentional. And even if you don't know, you know, every single outcome of the situation, like, you know, for me, I don't know anything about, you know, really being a dad, but I do want to do everything that I can to prepare myself. And I think it's a great thing that you're doing. And I think it's a great role model that you're being for guys like me and other people. And so, excited to see how the parenting world takes you and where, you know, where you'll go next. And also very excited to, I did meet Olivia, very cute baby, and excited for her future too.
Let's do another interview in 10 years and see if my opinion are the same. If I have another kid or not.
We'll have to come back to that. But thank you for joining us on this episode, and we will be back on the next episode talking about content creation. So we'll see you guys on the next one.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.